Hi, welcome to my podcast. My name is Barbara Radzevicius. I live in Sydney, Australia, and I'm going to talk about, and hopefully you'll find some interesting topics in this podcast. The weather here has been really strange. For the last 3 weeks has been pouring rain, hot, humid, cold. We should have hot westerly winds for this time of the year, but we haven't. We've got cold, and now we've got humid. Today's the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. My daughter's birthday. One of my daughter's birthdays. Lucky day to have a birthday. Also my brother Colin's birthday. They are very lucky. So I thought I would talk about my works in progress first. My knitting. I love knitting. I've only revisited knitting in the last year. Isolation, online shopping, and beautiful yarns and very nice patterns. So the pattern that I'm making at the moment is this Douglas Cardigan by Andrea Mowry. Beautiful pattern. Making it in stripes. I haven't got exactly the same stripes. She wouldn't want me to do it exactly the same, I don't think. This is how far I've gotten. Then you get on a circular 4mm needle. Very nice. I use these little markers. That's for the side seams of this one. And I'm using Rowan felted tweed and also gathered yarns from a lady in the UK. She gathers yarns from the sheep on the fences and around the yards and spins it, dyes in these beautiful colours, earthy colours with natural plants and things. And then I was looking at Etsy and I found this beautiful thing from Norway. You hang it on your belt and you can walk around with it, and you just slip it through your wall and off you go. It is so beautiful. Have you ever seen anything like that? It's just beautiful. That's my first work in progress. My second work at the moment, so I've just started. Is the Blended Shawl. I'm going to use some of my minis for this. Should be fun, feels nice. Also on a 4mm needle. Use up my little minis that, I have a lot. Well, at least 15. Should make a nice long scarf. That's my work in progress. For this podcast, I'm going to talk about 3 of my favourite crafting pursuits. Knitting, quilting, I love making quilts, and also beads. I love beads also. Next, we will look at what I've done this last month or so. I've made socks. These are beautiful. They only took a short time to make, a couple of weeks. No, a couple of days. It took a couple of days to make. Or I would have been making socks forever. Yeah, these socks are beautiful. Linton pattern, vanilla socks. I'm a left-handed knitter, so I need patterns that are not graphed up or... Yeah, the graphs are really hard because I read the mirror image, and so I get a mirror image pattern. If it's not right, I read from left to right. The graphs are from right to left, so you see my problem with that. I've also finished in this beautiful project bag that I can see through. It's very handy. This beautiful cardigan that I made. It's a free pattern, RICO pattern. You can find it, just Google RICO. I made it with Dooish yarn, DOOISH from Ireland. It's worsted weight. It's got a little lace panel in the front, and this cardigan fits me perfectly. So happy. So I've washed it and I've blocked it. I'll put a video in shortly of my daughter Jordana modelling it. She's a beautiful model, so that will be nice. I've got buttonholes put in the front, but I'm thinking instead of buttons, I like a clasp or a nice brooch at the top, and so I've got some nice brooches, and I think I'll do that. The buttonholes won't matter. I might put buttons on too. I have ordered some buttons, but they haven't arrived yet, so yeah, this is my beautiful tweedy wool jacket. It's so lovely, and it smells like sheep still. I love it. A sheepy cardigan. Another and the third project that I do is beads, but I only make lariattes, so that is a long string of beads, about meter and a half silk cord, and I collect glass beads, Morano glass beads, and silver beads, and volcanic stones, and they make into lovely sort of Victorian type beads when you wear them around your neck. I fold them with a bit, you know, like this. Oh, and they hang beautifully. What do you think? I think they're lovely. I make them for friends. If somebody wants some beads, you know. Very good birthday presents. Also, this is going to be a year-long project. It is my English paper piecing quilt. I'm going to make another red path English flower garden. I haven't made one for a while, a couple of years, and I thought I would use up some of my flowers that I've already done. For this flower garden I need 128 of these flowers. And I'll piece them together in a production line. So I'll connect the three together first. I have some already done, and with the three they will connect like this, and then I can just make them into rows. It'll probably take me a few months to do this, maybe a year, and we'll follow the progress of this quilt. Should be a fun project to check on. I have got a lot of, how pretty is this? Cats. So I'm going to have a random, hopefully random placement of flowers, different colours, different themes. As I've said, I've got a few different themes going, but it's very hard for me to do random. I like a pattern set. So this one I'm going to do random with a red path. That is the only thing that will set it, you know, as see how we go with that. Hopefully actually. I thought I would put them in a paper bag and draw them out, but that didn't work. So I've just put them in a nice little pile. This is the 128. Wow, it's ready to go. And these are the little pegs that I use. These are so handy. Little plastic pegs. These are perfect for English paper piecing. They keep everything together. So yeah, when I'm sewing them, you just put the two together like that. So handy. For my knitting, I have a couple of very handy things too. These little stoppers for holding the stitches so they don't all fall off the circular needles. I've got a few different sizes. They came in a nice packet. And also these locking stitch markers, they are so handy. I use them all the time. I've got a packet of those also. So that's about it. Also, on my podcast, I'm going to go out and about, show scenery around Sydney. The beaches are beautiful, and I'm also going to do some tutorials, knitting tutorials. I'm a left-handed knitter, so I'm thinking I'm going to do some tutorials for left-handed beginners. That should be, children want to learn to knit, but if you're left-handed, and all the patterns are for right-handed people, I've noticed. My father taught me to knit when I was 6 years old. He was right-handed, and the only way, I think it might have been a bit frustrating, but I used to sit on the bed in front of him on Sunday morning, and he would do basic knitting, mainly knitting, not purling, just plain knitting. And I watched mirror image. So for a left-handed person, I was watching a right-handed person from sitting in front of them. And that's how I learned to knit. It wasn't until later than, I was about in my early 20s, that I took up knitting again. And then I learned to make holes. It was supposed to be holes. Yarn over. I used to end up with holes everywhere, and also I would forget where I was in the row, and I would go backwards. I think they're called German short rows now. How odd is that? And this is how I knit. So you will be watching me mirror image, but this is how I knit, and I think it's continental. I could be wrong. I call it cottage knitting. Bit of mix. Like my cat. I have got a cat, Kitty Levine as we call her. She's a patchwork cat, perfect for a quilt maker. And she's a helper. Not really. She's out in the kitchen at the moment. Such a beautiful cat. She's mainly white with spots. Brown, well, actually ginger and black spots, big black spots. I'd probably call them patches. Anyway, she likes to lay around. She has tested out John's new leather chair over there. We cover it at night with a quilt. She used to use my other couch as a racetrack jumping equipment thing. And it ended up with a big scratch on it, and that was really sad. I gave it to my daughter, the couch, not the cat, so that it will be safe. She hasn't got a cat or a dog. She's just got my couch that she loves, and I'm glad she does. Kids love it too. Yeah. So, with my out and about, I live near the beach, near Bondi Beach. It's beautiful in all sorts of weather. I thought I would take some videos of that. I'm not much of a walker, bushwalker, as there's no bush around here. But there is coastal scenery, beautiful coastal scenery. If you're interested, that is, I think I'll have it at the end of all my podcasts. I'm also interested in the weather. You know, photographing clouds, sunrise. I take a photo of the sun, sunrise every morning at about 6. See what's going to happen, see how the clouds are forming on the horizon. It's so beautiful. Yeah, so this is my knitting. And in future podcasts, I'm going to have, I'll show how to do English paper piecing, which is really interesting. I collect novelty print fabric, and novelty prints are perfect for English paper piecing. I hope you like my podcast. Thanks for watching. If you like it, if you like this podcast, please subscribe and like. Okay, thank you. Hi, kitty. Hi, Levine. Who likes helping? Well, maybe not helping. Maybe taking a rest. Hi, kitty. Hi, my sweetie. I love you. You beautiful cat.